All right. Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Wa Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where or whom they may be. To the rest of the church who believe as well, including the dead in Yahweh Shai. And the water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross, none of this would even be possible, period, point blank whatsoever. All right. It's been a long time since I posted on this page. I was actually uploading videos on my old page. But Yeehaw, as I like to call the so-called white man, they're basically trying to shut down my page. So I'm going to upload videos on this page until Yeehaw, tries to play his childish games and do the same thing. Okay? For, those of you who don't know, my old page is called The Lonely Path to Salvation. And I also have another page that I have set up as a just in case, So anyway, jumping into the lesson, I'm going to go to the book of Matthew 24. And I'm going to start at verse 32. So bear with me as I'm doing this lesson because I'm driving at the same time. Now, learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. So as I like to say, we don't know the day, but we know the season. And we're in the season. We are in those times, man. A lot of things are happening. And the latest biggest thing being the situation in Iran, where basically because of President Trump, the king of Babylon today, there was an assassination on basically the second in command in Iran. Now, we know these things are leading up to World War III, but guess what? Although these things are happening, one major prophecy has to take place before World War III. And that is indeed the RFID chip, the microchip. And there's countless of articles, countless articles going into the RFID chip. So the RFID chip is here. It's just not basically set up by law to take it. But the time will come where Esau will have to implement that chip. And after that chip is implemented and a lot of great evils come into the world, we know World War III will follow behind soon after. Okay? So we know that we're in the end times. We don't know the day. We don't know the hour. But we know the season. And guess what? We are in that season. Just like right now, we're in the winter time. So when it's winter, you expect it to be cold. In certain parts of America here in Babylon, you may expect it to snow. But nevertheless, you know these things because of the season. So we know that we're in the end because of the season. Prophetically. Okay? So we don't know the time or the hour or the day, but we know the season. And we're seeing many great prophecies come to pass. I'm going to jump to verse let's see. I'm going to start at verse 50. The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of. And you have many people who assume that the Lord is never going to return. A lot of people have heard about the return of who you would call Jesus Christ for years, man. I'm talking about you got people in their 80s, 90s who have heard about the return of the Messiah since they were young. And he still hasn't returned yet. So you're going to have many people think in their mind, well, it's never going to happen. And the reason why a lot of people may assume that is because they don't know the season that we're in. If they could look at the season prophetically, they could measure the time and know, oh man, Yahweh Shai is on his way shortly, even at the door. Okay? And shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. All right? So a lot of you unbelievers and you hypocrites, you're going to be rewarded. You're going to receive your portion. All right? There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And there's going to be a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth for those who get caught up in the missile fire. In the missile fire, man. All right? People are going to be really sorry for rejecting, for their non-belief, thinking that the Lord is delaying his coming, because they could not keep their eye on the prophecies. They did not know the season. Okay? So let's go to the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 11. And you know, it's a blessing for us who believe, man. Honest and truly. It's a blessing because nobody put a gun to our head and made us believe these things. The Spirit was given to us to believe. All right? It's a beautiful thing seeing how precious it is in these end times, in the last of the last days, where many people do not care. They don't believe. They think the world is just going to continue on the way it is. Romans 13 and verse 11. And that knowing the time, and how do we know the time? Based off of prophecy. So based off of prophecy, we know the season we are in. And we are in the season of the end. Even going back to Matthew 24, it also tells you how there shall be wars and rumors of war. But at the same time, even when these things happening right in front of our eyes, we know that the end is not to come yet because of one major prophecy. In fact, let me hold this scripture. Let me jump back to Matthew 24, and I'm going to grab that right quick. This is Matthew 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So although we're hearing about wars and rumors of wars, the end is not yet, because one major prophecy has to take place. But we know that major prophecy that has to take place, being an RFID chip, being mandatory, being mandated, being implemented by law, or be put to death. We know that since wars and rumors of wars are really boiling right now, that chip has to be around the corner. It has to be. It's anywhere. It's just lurking. We don't know what Esau is going to do to bring that chip. He might just say, you know what? Let's just collapse this society. Let's just get to the point. All right? But yes, we know of the situation with Iran, but we also understand, being in the knowledge, you don't have to worry about missiles being shot off. You don't have to worry about America being destroyed because the chip isn't here yet. Now, we don't know when the chip is going to be mandatory. It can be next month. It can be 2 months from now. It could be by the end of this year. It can be next year. But we know we are in the season. Okay, and then following that, okay, we know World War III is coming. All right. So now I want to jump back to Romans 13 in verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. And that's why the men of the Lord are out on the on the highways prophesying unto you, because a lot of our people are still asleep, but the elect are going to wake up. So the elect are going to wake up out of that spiritual slumber, out of that sleep, and they're going to be aware and believe. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to allow great evil to come on the rest of the world once his elect is sealed, which could be sealed already. We don't know. But the way things are looking, if the elect aren't sealed, there aren't many left to be sealed, man. Okay? So salvation is close, man. It's nearer than what we think. It's right at the door. And that's a beautiful thing, man. We have hope. Now, we don't know the day. We don't know the time or the hour. We know the season, but we can't be specific and say on September of this year, on the 20th day, you know, the chip is going to be implemented or whatever the case. We don't know that. Okay, we prophesy in part, but we know the season that we're in. The scriptures tell you in the Apocrypha that only the Heavenly Father knows the day. Okay, Yahweh Shai doesn't even know the day when he's going to be sent. Only Yahweh. Check this out. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 4 and 30. For the grain of evil seed has been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. And how much ungodliness hath it brought up unto this time? So wickedness has been here, going all the way back to the time of Adam. How much worse has it gotten since then? Okay? We've been in this captivity for so long, I don't even think sometimes us being in the spirit, although we see things aren't right, I don't even think we understand how evil these times are, man. Okay? And how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come? Ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed hath brought forth. And when the heirs shall be cut down, which are without number, how great a floor shall they fill? Then I answered and said, how and when shall these things come to pass? Wherefore are our years few and evil? And he answered me, saying, do not thou hasten above the Most Highest, for thy haste is in vain to be above him, for thou hast much exceeded. Did not the souls also of the righteous ask question of these things in their chambers, saying, how long shall I hope on this fashion? When cometh the fruit of the floor of our reward? So only Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, only Yahweh himself knows when the end is going to come. The reason why he didn't tell us is because we are not made equal unto him. And if we knew the day, all of a sudden you'd have all the Israelites, even 2/3, trying to get right at the last minute. Oh, the Lord's coming tomorrow. We got to get right tonight. That's not sincere. That's not real. The Lord ain't dealing with that, man. So we know we're in those times, but we don't know exactly when. So I'm going to close it out at 2nd Ezra 8 and 64. I believe it is. Stops at 63. Okay, it's 63. Behold, O Lord, now hast thou showed me the multitude of thy wonders, which thou wilt begin to do in the last times. But at what time thou hast not showed me. So we don't know when the end is coming, but the end is coming. And we know this through faith, man. We know this through the spirit. We know this through prophecy, that we are in the season. That this society, as you see it as it is right now, it's going to have a major change, man. Okay? So we're in the end. We have to understand that. We know the season, but we don't know the time. So we got to be aware. We got to stay prayed up, man, as much as possible. Because as prophecies increase, the wickedness is going to increase more, man. We winning, though. We winning, all right? We winning out here. We finally starting to see, you know, what we've been telling these people, man, starting with the elders and the apostles on down to the rest of the men who kicked the doctrine of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. Because that's what it's about. It's about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, in spirit and in truth. So we know before World War III can even happen, although the situation's happening in Iran, that chip has to come first. And that chip, man, it's close. It's so close you can smell it, man. You can smell them chips. All right. Kal Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.